After the bar chart, we will go to the line chart using bar chart and line chart. Although they are almost alike, they have one distinct difference. That is, for line chart, the x-axis is a continuous field in the line chart. In this case, we can use the date. Then while using the date, we can want to visualize profit based on these dates. And there we go. We can use a line chart to present the data. We just click on line chart. Notice how we get a simple line chart with 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. That is, the x-axis is the year. Then on the y-axis, we have the profit. However, we can change this by removing the, let's say, the year. Now we have the quarters. We have the first quarter, the second quarter to the fourth quarter. And on the y-axis, we have the profits. We can go further and remove the quarters. We go to the months. We have January to December, and sales, for the sum of sales for each of these months is well represented. Let's move further to days. We have the 31 days of a month from day 1 to day 31. That's how the data is represented. But in this case, the data is represented in the discrete form. That is, we are combining all the data. In some cases, we might need to represent this data in continuous form. And in that case, we might need to change our settings. Let's change that to order date. And we just want to represent that in order date. And in this case, we will get all the dates for all the dates. For example, we have Wednesday, September 24th in 2014. Then another high sale is on Sunday, October 2nd in 2016. Notice that each date is represented in our chart, and we are getting this zigzag line to represent that data. In addition to the representation, we can make further changes. Let's start by removing the lines. We can also change the color, the shape of the line we are using. For example, let's make that dashed, or make it dotted. And normally, in this case, we'll use the solid. We can make this smoothed. We can make it linear, all stepped, and we'll work with the linear one. We can change the color of the line to our liking. We can also add markers or remove them. We can add the data labels. We can add different series. In this case, we have sum of profit. What if we added something like the discount? Now we have two labels. Let's go back to this and to specify that we want to the date hierarchy, and notice that we changed that. Let's go back to the lines and join type. We want solid. We want this linear. We have two lines, though let's work with sales in this case. Sorry about that. Let's actually remove all these and the order date. Then we want the profit, and we want the sales, and we want to see this in months. There we go. We have the months. In customizing this, we might need to, let's say, for example, change the color of the different lines. We can also use markers and use different series name for each of them. We can always edit the series names. Let's close that. We can always edit them. We can edit each of them to our specifications. We also have the general setting. Here we can change the title of our chart, and even further the chart by changing things like the background and so on. We can change the background to that. There you go. It looks better that way. However, the good news is we can always change this to an area chart. As easy as that is just clicking on the area chart, and we have an area chart for ourselves. The upper side is the sum of sales, the lower side is sum of the profits. And the tooltip shows us the entries for each of the data points. That's it for line chart. I would just like to insist that line charts are used to identify trends and patterns in our data, especially when we have continuous data. Mostly that is time series data, where we have the date variable. In our case, the date variable we are using is the order date. Alternatively, we can use the shipment.